To this week's Planets and Predictions episode. I'm your host, Dallisa Hawking, a fifth generation psychic medium, and I'm joined by Scott Tajarian. He is an astrologer and a podcaster, and his show is called The Weekly Transit. Scott, how are you doing?
Doing well, Dallisa. Thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here.
Yeah, I've got one of the most random questions I could come up with today. Maybe because I have been traveling lately, but some airplanes, if I could get my words together, airplanes have three seats, right, that are
hmm
next to each other.
Yeah.
And the one in the middle, the person in
hmm
the middle seat, assuming you don't know anybody around you, if you are in the middle seat, what do you do, or what do you think you're supposed to do with the armrests? Do you think you're like that you get both because you're in the middle? Do you think you kind of have to do like a little dance? Like, what do you think
Yeah.
about the armrest situation?
I mean, I just try to suck in and just, I just, I don't want to touch anyone. I don't want to be like, yeah, I'm probably just giving in and letting them have the armrests. And I'm just going to be there like this for however long and just try to go within and leave my body for a few hours and then come to whenever the plane lands. That's my focus.
Yeah.
I
It's
hate
a
fighting over the.
polarizing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a polarizing question. I bring this up because one of the articles we're going to look at today, when we get into what's happening in the news this week, we do have one about airplanes that I think people might find really interesting. But the armrest always seems to be a battle of opinions of what
hmm
people think. So I'd love to hear from those in the live chat. Welcome, and those that are watching the replay. Let us know. I'm just curious. Do you think if you're in the middle seat that you get both armrests, zero armrests, or you're kind of doing a little bit of a dance in between? So, yeah.
Plant
See?
lover. Yeah.
Yep. I
Yeah.
just saw that. Middle seat gets the armrests.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, there you go. Those are the rules. I guess
Yeah,
I'll
because
I guess I'll spread out if I'm in the middle seat then.
yeah, it's always a little bit awkward sometimes. And if you're at the window and you kind of have to cram next to the window, or if you're on the aisle and you're kind of hanging halfway out, and then the beverage cart is coming by. So yeah, you don't want to get hit by the beverage cart either. So whew, life up in the sky. Yeah, Betsy's saying the same thing.
Okay, those are the rules. I mean, I can only think of one time in my life where I've been in that middle seat. Uh, yeah, yeah, and I'm with Sue. I read the energy of my seatmates. Yeah, yeah. So it all
Yeah,
depends on who I'm sitting next to.
Amy's saying, I'm a sucking person too. It's
Yeah,
unfair, but that's the luck of the middle.
yeah,
Ooh.
yeah,
Heather's saying I do my best to fold fold into
yeah. That's like
myself.
me. Yeah, exactly, exactly. I'm the same way.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ellen's saying, the dance is the thing, though I've been known to go elbows up when I need to exert some power. I
Hmm.
love that. See, I
Yeah.
told you people have
Yeah.
opinions.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, Andrea is saying they should get both armrests.
Okay. Yeah.
Eh,
Yeah.
well, we're gonna
I'm
have another
definitely not
thing.
an armrest hog type person. It's something that Gabrielle and I deal with, like in our car, even she like the center console. It's like I got my arm there, and she does too. I don't really put my arm there though, but like when I'm trying to, it's where I keep like my wallet and the keys and everything, and I have to be very mindful that she's already moved out of that space before I open it up because she gets upset if I'm bumping her elbow. So now I have to be very
Funny you bring up
mindful.
the
Yeah.
car. Yeah, and we are gonna have another thing to weigh in on airplanes when we get to headlines in a little bit. But the car thing, I make noises in the car, so I don't have like a modern day car where it has all of the beeps and noises and all of the
Mhm.
sensors and everything. I don't have that. So, I have started making my own noises. So, if there's like somebody that cuts me off or whatever, I'll be like beep 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 beep. Beep. Like I'll make my own.
Awesome.
Yeah, or if a car is like getting too close on one side, I'll be like beep 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 beep. And you can ask people, like it happens. And I think I
Yeah.
got it because my mom's car makes all the noises, and so I
Huh.
learned all of the noises that hers makes.
Yeah.
I was like, I should have some in my car, so I just have to make them up. So, oh, speaking of
Okay.
which,
Yeah.
yeah, so she's here,
Oh,
and
your mom. There's your mom. Yeah.
yeah, so I have to make my own noises. So, yeah, so we
Hmm.
will talk about airplanes in just a little bit, but I
Yeah.
feel like we should start with what's going on astrologically,
Okay.
and then we'll get into our headlines.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have on Sunday, October 19th, Mercury and Mars are going to be conjunct,
Mhm.
which means like together,
Yeah.
in the sign of Scorpio.
Yep.
And I know that you told me backstage that Mercury and Mars in Scorpio is also going to be talking to the North Node in Pisces.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
what the heck? I hear Mercury and Mars and I think of like fighting words,
Hmm.
but I know it doesn't necessarily have to be that. But yeah, what do you make of it? What's going to happen?
So, Mercury is lord of the underworld, the planet of consciousness, communication, coordination, the god of merchants and thieves. Mars is the god of war, the planet of action, aggression, conflict. Mars is one of the two planetary rulers of Scorpio, which is fixed water, symbolized by the scorpion, ruled by Pluto as well as Mars. So, this conjunction, which is really already starting to build today and, tomorrow, it's really kind of happening all week. They both hit the North Node, which is the soul's purpose, the karmic pathway of the soul, and which is transiting through Pisces, the mutable water sign symbolized by the fish. Mars hits that point on Saturday, Mercury on Sunday, and then like Sunday into Monday is when the Mars and Mercury hit that same degree, and Mercury passes Mars late on Sunday night. Uh, and so this is bringing about conscious awareness to intimacy, uh, to vulnerability, to how you merge power and share energy with others. Really notice where you're feeling lifted, where you're feeling drained. The connection with the North Node is bringing about awareness in terms of how these intimate bonds are affecting your psyche, your dreams, any guilt, shame, regret, or blame that you're experiencing within yourself that is weighing you down potentially in your relationships. It's helping you see what maybe needs to transform or move or shift within these intimate entanglements. Yeah.
Yeah, intimate entanglement. So with Pisces, with them talking to Pisces, do you think that there could be themes around boundaries, lack of boundaries in relationships coming up and feeling
Mm,
that this weekend of like maybe someone touches your boundary, touches your wall, and you're like, "Ooh, we need to talk about this," or vice
yes.
versa. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great point to bring up, because Pisces is the oceans, and the oceans really don't have boundaries. I mean, they have the land, but for the most part, they're just, roaming and flowing. And so it's Pisces is compassion. So where are you being overly compassionate in your relationships? Scorpio is manipulation. Maybe you're being manipulated through that compassion, or the empathy that you're providing to others is more than you're receiving, and that's what's draining you. Yes.
Ooh,
Yes.
yeah. Because as you're describing it, I'm seeing, like, a scorpion and, like, its tail, and when I
Mm.
lived in Las Vegas, we would get scorpions quite a bit out in the yard, and sometimes they would
Oh.
come inside the house.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, and, as far as I know, you can't really, like, spray them to kill them, you actually
Mm.
have to crush them.
Mm.
And I always felt like they had this very kind of sneaky, sly energy to them,
Oh, yeah.
and it would scare the crap out of you.
Oh,
Obviously, it
yeah.
can sting you and kill you, and it
Mm.
can hurt small animals and things like that.
Yes.
So as you're talking about Mercury and Mars, and that's why I said fighting words at the beginning. When I think
Mm.
of like Mercury, Mars together in Scorpio, um, and it touching the boundless Pisces, I
Mm.
think of like, are there things that have been happening in our relationships where it could be called into the forefront, and that little stinger comes out like the scorpion
Mhm.
and says, this isn't working. And maybe they don't say it in a very nice way. Maybe
Mm.
you don't say it in a very nice way, but high form you would. High form
Mm.
you would take that intensity and figure out a way to say it in a productive way. Um, but yeah, you know a lot about that Scorpio energy, because you are one.
Mhm.
Um, what would you give us as like tips to try to navigate this? If we think that there could be some intensity on the horizon in one of our relationships, could be work, it could be a child, parent, a romantic. Like, how do you handle Scorpio energy? Like, what's the best way to work with it?
It's crawling into bed in the fetal position, and just, sitting through the discomfort of the changes that you're experiencing. I do a lot of that, I do a lot of just, kind of crawling into that fetal position and just going within myself and whether it's a conversation that I'm having with myself or I'm just noticing the feelings that I'm experiencing, and just sitting with that. It's not necessarily a pleasant experience, but you're meant to be going through a transformation. Uh, and so you want to be present with the transformation, breathe through it. Uh, and I try to really, I mean, with Mercury, there's a mental aspect to this, and and I was born with Mercury in Scorpio too, and so there's a lot of inward intellectual processing that's going on in terms of like, how am I so deeply connected to this person that I can't let go of them? Where was I in my life when I met them? What was going on in my life? uh, what are the experiences that I've had with this person? What are the secrets that they shared with me that are now like seeped into the fabric of my soul? And how do I love myself in those areas so that I can hopefully release them? There's no clear, like, paint by numbers sort of solution with this Scorpio energy. You just kind of have to go through it.
Yeah, I feel that when you're talking about it. We have to sit in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about what is the quick way for me to heal this and move forward. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
it's about sitting in the depth of Scorpio and the
Yes.
depth of Pisces waters and just sit in it so that you really understand it and get it this time.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly. Shout out to Janet, Long Beach, California, in my neighborhood. Cool.
Maybe you're
Uh,
actually neighbors.
maybe. Well, she doesn't live on my block because I know everyone on my block. So,
Ah,
but but maybe she's in my neighborhood. Who knows? That'd be trippy. Uh, so yeah, it's deep, Dallisa. Like there's no just like jumping out. There's a heaviness to this energy. Uh, and with the sun and Venus in Libra, like there's a lot of work being done around relationships right now. And it can feel like a lot. It can feel heavy. Saturn's in Pisces, that's heavy. So, we had this period in the summer where there's all these planets in like air and fire. And now Saturn is back in Pisces. The North Node, of course, is in Pisces. Jupiter is in Cancer. Mercury and Mars are in Scorpio. So that's 4 planets and the North Node in water signs. And then by the time we get to about 8 days from now, Neptune's going to be in Pisces and the sun will be in Scorpio. So 8 days from now, this energy is going to get even heavier, because then we're going to have 6 planets in water plus the North Node. So, water is heavy. Air and fire, those are light, So people get so excited with the air and fire signs, like, yeah, we're going to party. Yeah. But I actually like this sort of heavy energy. I guess is my Scorpio nature. Yeah. I just like to get down into they take me into the darkest corners of your soul. Show me what's there. And I will love you there. Show me your pain and I will love it. Show me your suffering and I will love it. That's how I feel about this energy.
It takes all kinds, because how the psychic imagery that I get as you're talking about this, and you're talking about like the 6 planets being in these heavier energies, the symbolism Spirit showed me was going back into that room where I was describing the scorpions that would come inside the house, and like flipping over a table and seeing the scorpions crawl out of like the dark corners of the room. That doesn't sound like fun to me. But I'm also Gemini rising and a Sagittarius sun. So I'm like,
Dallisa, there is somebody who's watching us right now who is literally on a plane right now. Clara Ortiz. Hi, I am connected from 38,000 feet. Are you in the middle seat, Clara? Because we just asked about who gets the armrests on the middle seat.
oh my gosh, this is so funny. That's amazing. Oh, well, thanks for getting us dialed in.
Cool. Where are you headed? Where are you coming from and where are you going? That's awesome. I love that. That's so cool. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Are you in the middle seat?
Yeah. And are you sharing your armrest or not?
Exactly. Yeah. Wow.
My
what
gosh.
a trip.
Too funny. Yeah. I don't think we've ever had that before. And Jax, we haven't seen Jax in a minute.
No. Jax is here. Awesome. Yes. Okay, not in the middle seat. Claire's not in the middle seat. Okay. Are you sitting next to a middle seat? Or is it just you and the window and the aisle? That's what I want to know.
I know, because now I'm like, if she has somebody in the middle seat, maybe ask like, hey, do you think you should get both armrests? Start a conversation. Too funny. Okay. Anything else about Mercury, Mars, conjunct on Scorpio, talking to the North Node Pisces?
Yeah, I would just say, initiate these deep conversations in your intimate relationships. Like, be willing to go there. Be willing to go to those dark, scary corners of your relationships, your intimate bonds, and express what's going on with you. Now's the time to clear the energy. Remember that Scorpio rules the colon. So let's clear out all the what out of your body, and so it's like, how do you want to transform? What is it in your life that you want to transform? Like, this is powerful energy. So it might not feel light and fun and joyous, but it's working with this energy that's going to get you to that light, joyous energy, because eventually Mercury and Mars are going to move into Sagittarius. And then, it's like, it's party time. So, but in order to get that lightness, you need to clear out whatever you need to clear out, whatever is feeling stuck in you. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. Oh, I feel that. I think
Mm.
I don't want to speak for every single human on the planet, but I think there's a large majority of people that are, if you ask them, like, oh, is there something in your life that you would like to transform right now?
Mm-hmm.
I would guarantee 99.5% of people would be like, absolutely, yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. Hardly anyone's out there saying, no, everything's perfect in my life right now. I don't want anything to change. I bet most people have something that they would want to shift.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hands down. So if you're
Yeah.
hearing us today and you're like, yeah, I have a symbolic colon I would like to cleanse, then you're not alone. You're with
Mm.
us. Yeah, I remember a couple weeks ago we talked about the importance of not being a turd. And so I think that's just coming back up as another reminder. Yeah. Oh, and
Mm.
Jax brings up a good point. What isn't being transformed right now?
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
Seriously.
Yes. Yes.
Whew. Yeah. How about those Mariners?
Oh, wow. I know. Exciting. Exciting. I'm thinking about you whenever I see the Mariners score. And I
Yeah.
actually watched the last half of that epic long game, whenever that was over the weekend. Wow, that was crazy. Um, yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Oh, and Sandra's saying she's getting a colonoscopy tomorrow, so she's really on
Okay,
time.
there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. So, we'll get to sports in a minute too, because we have a couple things in our headlines
Mm-hmm.
for those sports lovers or astrology lovers, and hearing how they line up. So we'll talk about
Yeah.
sports again in a minute. We do have a new moon coming up on, is it Tuesday the 21st? I
Yeah.
believe so.
Tuesday,
Yeah,
early morning. Yes.
in Libra.
In Libra. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and that's going to be about relationships, obviously, because Libra's the scales, and it's ruled by Venus, the goddess of love and beauty, the planet of relationships. And this is happening at 5:26 a.m. Pacific Daylight Savings Time, so 8:26 Eastern. Um, and that is on Tuesday morning, the 21st. And so it's a great time, especially because during this time, Mercury and Mars are going to be conjunct. So you're going to have the Sun and Moon conjunct in Libra, and Mercury and Mars conjunct in Scorpio. I mean, there's so much opportunity to set your intentions, to manifest what you want for your relationships, what you're willing to transform, what you're willing to release. um, really think about what is out of balance in your relationships and what you would like to have put back into balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh, it just seems like every week it's all about relationships. But,
Mm.
I do think part of incarnating on Earth School is to be in relationships because they're our greatest mirrors, and
Yeah.
they help us see ourselves in ways that we can't without them.
Hmm.
But wow, I feel like we've really been in like a tunnel of relationship energy for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's that in my last moon cycle class, that's what somebody said. Like, is this relationship thing ever gonna go away? But when you look at it, we have been, because Mars is leading the charge right now, and Mars transited into Libra. That was back in August. So Mars transited into Libra on August 6th. So, since August 6th, we've had planets in Libra, and now Scorpio, which is intensifying everything. Venus doesn't get out of Scorpio until, let's see, Venus moves out of Scorpio. That happens on November 30th. So basically from August 6th to November 30th, all of August, September, October, November, that's 4 months where we're really just reworking and rebalancing and releasing in our relationships. So, and this is again coming on the heels of those eclipses, which were in Virgo. You had the Virgo solar eclipse, which is also about releasing and remembering that this is a 9-year. Like, we're really clearing everything out of our life that isn't serving us right now, so that when we move to 2026 and it's a 1, we're starting with a clean slate.
Yeah, we won't get ahead of ourselves about 2026 just yet, but oh God. Because anytime I've channeled on what's ahead, they're always like, you have to get through the early 2030s. So it's never all bad and it's never all good, but there will be peaks and valleys. But it is good to hear that, next year will be the 1 energy and these fresh starts, new beginnings, things birthing anew.
Yeah, it's a new cycle.
Yeah, like hopefully it'll help us feel a little bit lighter even when things are intense.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll take a 1. I think I would take a 1 year over a 9-year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Because I like fresh starts. I like coming up with new ideas and doing things I haven't done before, because
Yes.
I'm very mutable, right?
Yes.
Sun, moon, and rising are all mutable. So I like that. Where I know there are some people that like really like things how they've been and they don't like change. And so a 9 and a 1 would probably have some resistance for people that don't like change, because both years would bring a lot of change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. There's a lot of shifting. There's a lot of shifting in the 9 and the 1 years. So, yeah.
Don't we know it?
We'll settle into wherever we are in 2027, I guess. But there's so much shifting astrologically over these periods. So who knows? Who knows? It's going to be wild to see.
It is. It's going to be completely different 1 year to the next year to the next year. And it's going to move really fast, which I think is part of the Uranus, once it finally goes back into Gemini for its 7-year term. I think there will be a lot of quickness to the energy that we're in. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Okay, so new moon in Libra, we were going to have that on Tuesday, October 21st, and then we'll be on the lookout Sunday, October 19th for Mercury, Mars, conjunct in Scorpio. So to me, it feels like we've got this window basically probably starting Saturday, and then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, maybe a bit on Wednesday. So would you say like Saturday to Wednesday is like the hot pocket?
Yeah. Yeah, over the weekend into early next week is when it will probably feel most tense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, mark that on your calendar.
Yeah.
Saturday to Wednesday. Okay. Well, I think we should start with the news headlines.
Let's do it.
Yeah. I do have our winner from the magic word of last week. So if this is your name, you need to email me. You can do it through my website at spiritandspark.com. You got to do it this week. It's Teresa Hoffer from San Jose, California. Congratulations on winning your 12-month personalized tarot report. So make sure you go to my website and hit the contact button and send me a note, and I'll get your report put together for you. And then I changed my mind on the magic word for this week.
Oh,
I know. I keep like going back and forth.
It's your Gemini rising.
Because I want to pick something that people know how to spell and is actually easy to remember.
Yeah.
I think we should go with airplane.
Okay, good.
Airplane, because we've talked about airplane a few times.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about airplanes again. So this week's magic word is going to be airplane. And you'll find where you can enter the magic word in the menu at spiritandspark.com. So, magic word is
Hmm.
airplane. And if you spell it wrong, I'm not going to judge you. It's okay. So let's get into this week's headlines. Diane
Hmm.
Keaton. So I know that you had said that you have her birth chart.
Yes.
This one's been kind of interesting. When I saw this news come over, I was immediately like, oh, that's sad, because
Yeah.
I think that she was beloved by so
Oh,
many
yeah.
people.
Oh, yeah.
I even saw a headline, and Robert De Niro is like, she was the love of my life. I should have married her. Right. So there's
Oh,
just,
wow.
yeah, there's just
Robert De
a,
Niro said that, or Al Pacino?
oh, it might have been Al Pacino. Yeah. I think it was Al Pacino. Scott will be back in a minute. So there's just been all of this love for Diane Keaton. So Scott's going to be taking a look at her astrology chart. Let me know in the comments. I would be really interested to know what your favorite Diane Keaton movie is. So let us know in the comments what's your favorite Diane Keaton movie. So yeah, I'm asking people to weigh in
Yeah.
with their
Yeah.
favorite.
Yeah. What's
But
yours,
yeah, I think it was
Dallisa?
Al Pacino.
Yeah. Al Pacino. They were a couple.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she played his love interest in The Godfather. His love interest, his wife, played his wife in The Godfather. So they dated for a while, um, and then also, yeah, there's a Vanity Fair article. It says Al Pacino's biggest regret: never marrying Diane Keaton.
Oh,
Yeah, the one that got away. I know I will never I will. I know he will forever regret he didn't make his move when he had a chance, is what a source said. But she dated Woody Allen, Warren Beatty, I think Jack Nicholson. Like, she was she was with all the big actors from back in like the 70s. Um, so yeah,
that's fun. Folks are
yeah,
sharing their favorite movies. Family Stone, Father of the Bride,
mm,
First Wives Club, Annie
yeah.
Hall.
Annie Hall, that's my favorite.
I don't think I've ever
Yeah.
seen it.
Oh, really? Oh
No.
my God, that's like the original. Like, I don't know. It's such a great romance relationship film.
Okay.
It's like you got to watch it. It's so good.
And
Yeah.
Vanessa's saying something's got to give.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's a good movie too.
Michelle. Yeah,
Totally.
Michelle's
Yeah.
saying that too. Uh,
Yeah.
was there anything in her astrology chart that you saw that you thought was interesting for the timing of her passing?
You know, one thing that's interesting is I often this isn't always the case, but it seems like it happens more often than not where it's like people die when the sun is in a sign that is squaring their sun. Like, she's a Capricorn sun, and of course the sun is in Libra when she dies, so they're both cardinal. Libra's air, Capricorn's earth, so that's the tension, because earth and air don't mix. But the sun was also squaring her Saturn in Cancer, which is a tense aspect. Mercury was squaring her moon, which can be another tense aspect. Jupiter was conjunct her Saturn. Mercury and Mars were both transiting through her 12th house, which is the house that rules hospitals and illnesses. So the moon was conjunct her Uranus, so something unexpected happening. And then Venus was squaring her Mercury. So there's a lot of tension. Chiron was squaring her Mars. So yeah, I mean, there's a number of squares that were occurring, that you know is certainly not easy when you're experiencing multiple square aspects. Saturn was squaring her north node, so she was dealing with one, two, three, four, five, six. Jupiter was squaring Jupiter. Jupiter was squaring Chiron. Seven. So yeah, so like she's, I mean, almost like 10 squares. A lot of
Ooh,
tension in her chart. Yeah. So,
Wow.
and God, like they're just popping up everywhere. Mars was squaring her Pluto too. So the god of war squaring her god of death. That's a
Ooh.
huge one right there. That's really not fun. I mean, that happens every 2 years or so when Mars squares your Pluto. But yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see, 5, 6. Yeah, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, there's about 10 squares happening. So yeah. Um, yeah, she was dealing with a lot of energetic tension for sure.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Godspeed, Diane Keaton. You're loved by many, many people, and I will go watch Annie Hall in your honor. Yeah.
I like what Ellen just said. Like she said, Annie Hall seemed to be the embodiment of Diane Keaton, or she became the embodiment of that character exactly, because she just is Annie Hall.
Huh. Okay.
And like even if you watch Something's Got to Give, it's like when Annie Hall got older. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
it's yeah. So
Okay. Well,
yeah,
we'll all go watch a Diane Keaton
yeah,
movie in her honor.
she just
Yeah.
she is an icon, and an incredible, bright, shining light. I saw her once at a Christmas party at Goldie Hawn's house way back in. And I was like, wow, that's Diane Keaton over there. And she was like wearing that exact same outfit that's in that photo. She always had the hat on, that was like her uniform, and the glasses. And I was just like, I felt like I was in a movie or something. Such a trip.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Yeah. You have so many stories that just like come
I
out of
know.
nowhere.
I know. Exactly. I'm like, what am I doing here?
I saw somebody on my Facebook account had posted pictures that she had taken with Diane Keaton. She didn't know Diane, but her friend, it sounds like, was at a restaurant that Diane was at.
Yeah.
And Diane, I'm going to paraphrase this, turns to her friend and says, like, where did you get those shoes? They were Gucci shoes. And so Diane just starts up this conversation with a
Yeah.
stranger who had shoes on that she liked.
Yeah.
So then my Facebook friend shows up, and my Facebook friend, her friend, Diane, and Diane's friend sat around for hours talking and having lunch, and they didn't know each other. But I think that speaks to the person, the character, the
Mm.
qualities of Diane Keaton, and why so many people loved her, because you really felt like she could be a friend.
Yeah. Well, she's a second house Capricorn sun, and that second house is Taurus. And the Taurus people, they're very down to earth. And the Capricorn energy, very ambitious, but also an earth sign. She's in a third house Aquarius moon. So Aquarius moon is somebody who's deeply connected to the community, and social interactions. The third house energy brings about that curiosity. So I could see her just wanting to be, oh, you want to know about my shoes? Okay, yeah. Well, where'd you get your shoes? And just having that kind of conversation and being cool with it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Well, let's go on to our next story.
Hmm.
This one I selected because it's happened over the last week since we've been on. But I was curious what the astrology pointed to with this. There was this huge explosive factory tragedy that happened in Tennessee, and it killed 16 people.
Oh my
And
God.
it happened in relatively small community. I have never been to Bucksnort, Tennessee, but from what I understand, it's a small town, and so this explosive factory tragedy and killing 16 of its local residents, it really just created this huge mourning in
Hmm.
Tennessee. So, is there anything in the astrology that you could point to that would be something big and explosive?
Well, you know, this happened on Friday, October 10th, uh, just around 8 a.m. local time. And, you know, the moon was in Gemini, which is like the trickster and brings some of that unexpected energy. The moon was conjunct Uranus, so that brings that unexpected energy as well. It was aligning with Pluto, the god of death, the planet of transformation in Aquarius, and Neptune, the planet of illusion, confusion, deception in the fire sign, cardinal fire sign of Aries. So the moon, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto all aligning with each other. Maybe that had something to do with it. Um, I mean, that would be my best guess. Now, why did it happen there and not someplace else? I mean, who knows? Like, you have to find out like when this town was born or what the historical energy is of this town. But I can imagine, you know, these sorts of things occurring also because Jupiter, the planet of expansion in Cancer, is squaring Chiron, the wound, and the ancient wisdom which is unlocked through healing that wound in Aries, an explosive sign. So Jupiter, the planet, the god of thunder, aligning with Chiron in Aries, which is fire.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's really sad. Heart goes out to everybody touched by the
Oh my
tragedy,
God,
and
horrifying.
yeah, yeah. Whew. But yeah, the astrology lines up,
Hmm.
sudden, unexpected, fiery. But yeah, looking up even the chart of Bucksnort, Tennessee, and not that we would have that information, but uh, that looking at a location's chart can also give clues as to what was happening. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Um, yeah.
yeah, Javiera says, and Pluto. Yes, Pluto. I think I mentioned Pluto. So, uh, yeah, Pluto is gonna, you know, transformation, and it's in Aquarius, unexpected energy, shocking energy.
Jax is saying that is a repeat of a former event. I am not aware of that. Also, but I also didn't go too far deep down into the news around this story. But
Hmm.
um, that would be
Oh,
a
she's yeah. So the
twist.
fire happened 2 years ago, and the guy who saved them was fired, but the issue wasn't addressed.
Ah,
Wow,
wow, wow.
awful. Yeah,
Ooh. Okay.
all good, Javiera.
I'm like, whew.
Yeah,
Okay. So we have a couple things on sports related. So you're going to talk about this guy who James Franklin, Penn
yeah.
State fired him. And then I have another slide after this. So there's an image at the bottom of the screen, which is the Lions and Chiefs game. So
Hmm.
Scott's going to talk about that too. And then
Yep.
this is the article that goes along with the bottom photo about a
Mm,
bloody NFL brawl. Violent brawl leaves star player bloodied at the end of the Chiefs Lions NFL launches investigation. So I'm going to go
mm.
back to these two photos. So, yeah, why did you find these two interesting?
Well, the James Franklin one jumped out at me because just, you know, he's a really big coach and has had a really rough couple of weeks, you know, like he lost to Oregon at home, which Oregon's a really good team. And, but, you know, for him, it's a really tough loss because, like, the knock on him, even though he's been a really successful coach at Penn State, is that he can't win the big game. It's like their record against top 10 teams is just like one of the worst records in the history of college football. And so then the next week he goes out to UCLA, who had just fired their coach 2 weeks before because they lost like 3 games in a row to like teams they shouldn't lose to. And UCLA beat Penn State, and Penn State was number 7 in the country. It was the first time unranked team that hadn't won a game all year beat a top 10 team in like 30, 40, 50 years. It was like an incredibly long time. So that was an embarrassing loss. Then he came back to Pennsylvania, and they lost to Northwestern the next week, and then they fired him. So it's like, okay, what's going on in his chart? I'm like, well, okay, he was born on February 2nd, 1972. So the sun obviously is in Aquarius, and that Mars and Mercury in Scorpio are squaring his sun. So I was like, okay, that's got to be it. The god of war and the guide of souls to the underworld, literally transforming his identity. You're fired. You're no longer the coach of this team where you've been coaching since 2014 for 11 years. That's no longer a part of your identity. That's a really difficult transformation. And that's what can happen when Mars in Scorpio and Pluto in Scorpio square your sun in Aquarius. So, or in any sign. If Mars and Mercury are squaring your sun in any sign, it's going to be a tougher day. On top of that, as if that wasn't enough, Jupiter, the god of thunder, is also squaring his Mars in Aries. Jupiter's in Cancer. They're both cardinal. Cancer's water, Aries fire. Fire boils water. Water extinguishes fire. And Chiron is conjunct his Mars in Aries. So he is dealing with that tension as well. And the transiting Saturn restriction is squaring his Jupiter. So his planet of expansion and possibility is being crushed. So, yeah.
Yikes.
Yep.
I wouldn't wish that on anyone.
Yeah.
Everything you just explained.
But I did send you another image that I guess you didn't put it up there, but it was funny because
what he was making like by the minute. Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't
well,
do that one.
not what he was making. It is what he's going to make until 2031, because his buyout is so huge. It was like $70 million they owed him. So he's going to be making almost $22,000 a day until 2031. He's going to be making almost $160,000 a week, and over $666,000 a month. He's making $913 an hour until 2031. So we don't have to feel too sorry for him.
Okay.
I mean, that does suck that he got fired. It's awful. But I mean, God, $931 an hour, 24 hours a day until 2031. That sounds like a pretty good deal.
Yeah,
he
not
made out
bad.
well. So yeah.
Okay, I don't feel bad for him anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what about this brawl between the Lions and the Chiefs? And if I remember correctly, you told me that the Chiefs didn't have any penalties in that game, which is like record breaking.
Yes.
And also very suspicious.
Mm-hmm. Taylor Swift.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor Swift.
Mm-hmm.
So, these are the stories that I love the most, because whenever I see two people fighting on a sports team, I mean, obviously I don't have the birth times of Brian Branch, who is the Lions player, or Juju Smith-Schuster, even though, he went to Long Beach Poly down the street from where I live. But, I don't have their birth times. He's the guy on the ground. But it's always fun when you see these fights, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to look up their birth dates and see what is vibing between these two players and if there is tension. And undoubtedly, there always is. But before I even get into what the tension is, like you said, the Chiefs were the first team. They're the second team in the last 70 years to have not had a penalty called on them in an entire game. Now that's just crazy. And there's all these pictures going out on the internet or on social media where you see like a lion or a Lions player getting grabbed by a Chiefs player, like his jersey's being ripped like this, and it's like no penalties. He's obviously holding the guy. The
Yeah.
guy's like, waving his arms up. So this Lions player, he got shoved in the back at the end of the game by the guy on the ground. And he was so upset about it. Why? Because the Lions player is a Libra. And what I say like a week or two ago about Libra is that they are deceivingly like very relentless. Like if they feel that they've been wronged in some way, if something is unfair, like we talked about this with Charlie Kirk because he is a Libra sun and moon, and he was like hell bent on rebalancing the scales from the left to the right. And so like that's what this Lions player did. He's like, this is unfair. I just got shoved in the back. I don't care that we're losing the game and the game's almost over. Like this is like the refs need to call this, and the refs weren't doing it. So he took matters into his own hands. And Patrick Mahomes, the quarterback, went up to this player, tried to shake his hand. He walked right past him, ignored him, and the Chiefs player came up and said something to him, and he just like smacked him across the helmet and like really kind of shook the guy up. And then the guy came running at him. He ripped his helmet off and threw him on the ground, and this whole thing happened. So then I was like, okay, well, what's going on in their charts? Well, Brian Branch, the Lions player, was born with Pluto, the god of death, in Sagittarius at 13 degrees, and Juju Smith-Schuster, the Chiefs player, was born with Mars, the god of war, at 12 degrees in Virgo. So again, that squaring energy, the god of war squaring off with the god of death. So if you ever see that in your chart with another, like, tread lightly. Like that's going to be a relationship that could really ignite and create real tension between you and the other person. So that was the main aspect that jumped out. There's some other ones that, with the moon potentially, that it could be like, oh yeah, maybe but we don't know exactly where the moon was. We do know that Brian Branch, his sun, is conjunct Juju Smith-Schuster's Chiron, so bringing vitality to Juju Smith-Schuster's wound. So yeah, there's some tension between these two individuals, obviously, as it showed up in reality.
Yeah, well, maybe they'll penalize the Chiefs moving forward because so much attention got brought to this issue.
Maybe. I mean, the Lions player got suspended for a game, so the only one that got punished was him, I think. So I don't think anything happened to the Chiefs players. So, and they got to make sure that Taylor Swift has a front row seat at the Super Bowl or is in the box. So, the NFL, the Chiefs started out, they had a really rough start to the season. So, they needed their friends in stripes to make sure that they were going to be more in the mix so that Taylor Swift could be at these important games. So,
Oh boy. Yeah. I have speculative energy psychic downloads on the NFL, and I don't know. I think it plays into the Matrix idea of like what's real, what's not real. What's the real story here? I don't know. No penalties when there clearly were penalties. Why was there favoritism?
Yeah.
Would be the question I would ask.
Exactly. Yeah, the NFL is famous for this kind of stuff. It's fudging and allowing certain things to take place. Like you just think of all the things that like Tom Brady, no offense, I know there's some Patriot fans in the chat here, but man, like Deflategate, Spygate, all these different gates that have occurred with the Patriots, because Tom Brady's the golden boy. So, they want to have him in the big game. So, yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'll leave my opinions at the door because I probably have some opinions about Bad Bunny too. But
you do?
well, it was funny because I was watching whatever game was on a few weeks ago when they said, we're going to announce the Super Bowl halftime show.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there and I started getting a psychic download that it was going to be one man. And I
Mm.
was like, ooh. So I like had called, I even said like a few names out loud. I'm like, oh, what about like Chris Stapleton? I don't remember who else I mentioned. And then they showed Bad Bunny. I was like, what? What? I
That's
know
one man.
one song. I know one song that is with Cardi B that
Okay.
Bad Bunny is in. And it's a good song, and I'll shake my tail feather to it, but I don't get it.
Well, I guess you have to brush up on your Bad Bunny discography and listen
Oh.
to all of his music.
Anyway, if anyone has an opinion about Bad Bunny as the halftime show, please let me know in the comments. You might be his number one fan. Apparently,
Hmm.
he's really big on streaming. Yeah. See,
He's
Jax.
popular.
Yeah. Jax is
Yeah.
saying I love Bad Bunny for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Dalisa's, you're a little salty about this Bad Bunny. That's concerning to
Put
me.
me in
Let's
charge.
let me look at Bad Bunny's astrology and see why Dalisa is so salty about Bad Bunny.
Man, put me in charge of this.
Where's Bad Bunny? Let's see. Bad Bunny is oh, okay, makes sense. It makes sense. Bad Bunny's a Pisces. So I know you're a Pisces moon, but that does square your all your Sagittarius and your your Gemini stuff. So let me look at Bad Bunny's chart right now and see where the planets were. He was born March 10th, 1994. And where's Dalisa? Let's see. Dalisa is yeah. So his sun is squaring your Neptune and your sun. So yeah, but it's conjunct your moon. So
I bet
like
we'd be friends. We'd
you'd be
probably be friends.
friends. Yeah, but his Uranus and Neptune are also squaring your Pluto, and his moon is maybe squaring your Uranus. His Mercury is squaring your Venus. So yeah,
All
you
right.
got some tension with Bad Bunny. I understand why you're not a fan. I
Yeah, I don't
see.
know anything
Yeah.
about him personally. I was just like, huh? What? Huh?
Delisa, I hate to say this to you, but you're not in the younger generation anymore. So, just because you and I don't know any Taylor Swift songs. I know the
Oh,
one like Shake
okay.
It Off song, but does that mean that she's not talented or that she shouldn't be performing wherever? No, because who cares what I like? I'm listening to music that old people listen to. So, yeah, right now in my car, I'm listening to music from the 1940s. That's what I'm into these
Oh,
days.
wow.
So,
Okay.
that's what I like right now. So
Okay. Well, maybe Bad Bunny will surprise me with his show.
maybe
So
he
I'll keep
will.
an open mind. I'll keep an open mind. All
Okay.
right. So this is our other airplane story, or because we were talking about the armrest earlier. Uh, on WestJet, now you are going to be charged if you want to sit in a seat that reclines. So,
Wow.
my big question for people,
Yes.
do you think it's okay to recline your seat? Because I have an opinion about it. Um, I don't think you should recline seats.
What?
No, no, the seats are so close together in coach that if somebody puts their seat back, you lose even more space with your
Yeah.
tray table down.
Yeah.
It's
I don't
so
think I
close.
ever reclined my seat.
You would know because you have to push the button and lean back,
Yeah.
and you know when you're doing it
Yeah. I
that
don't
the
think I ever
person
do.
behind you
Just
knows
like
you're doing it.
I give up the armrest. I'm like, if you want the armrest, I'll just like crowd here. Hopefully I have a window seat and I'll just like be like this in my window seat, you know? And or if I'm, in the aisle, I'll just try to be friendly with the person sitting next to me and I don't know. But yeah, I don't think I've reclined the seat because it feels imposing. At the same time, like this also upsets me.
Which
It's a,
part?
the fact that they're charging people to recline their seats. Like, I don't think I recline my seat, but I'm upset and I don't really like it when someone else reclines their seat onto me, but I don't like that they're charging extra to recline the seats. It feels like we're being restricted in some way. And it really makes me wonder. My big question is, how is the public going to respond? Are they going to stop flying on WestJet and put WestJet out of business? Or are is WestJet not going to go out of business, and are all the other airlines going to follow suit and charge everybody to recline their seats? What do you think?
I don't, I don't mind that there's a certain few rows of seats that can recline. I think if they're going to charge you for it, it should recline a little bit more than the normal standard ones. Because if you're going to pay extra for a seat that reclines, you really should feel like you've got more space and that you
Yeah.
can do it. And the person behind you doesn't have your head in their lap.
Yeah.
Um, but if you're somebody that's like, maybe it's Spirit Airlines or Frontier, and you're like, I don't need to even bring a bag on the plane, and I'm going to sit in a chair that doesn't recline because I want the cheapest option, then there's seats for you too. But I think I like that there's different options on flights, especially the longer ones. And you can decide, what suits you the best.
So what do you think what's gonna happen? Do you think that they're gonna they're gonna do this across all airlines? Or do you think that WestJet's gonna go out of business?
Those are two extremes.
Yeah.
I would say WestJet is going to test it out, and other airlines are going to be paying attention to see how it
Hmm.
does. And they are going to determine what they'll do next with their seats. I
Yes.
am kind of surprised that major airlines, at least from the ones I've flown on, you still have the ability to hit the button and recline your seat. It does kind of surprise me that it still happens and that's still a function of the seats. Um, because I know it's very polarizing and a lot of people don't like when someone reclines in front of them. So maybe people knew that there were different seats that did or did not recline. I think they would pick their seat based off of that.
Yeah. It's just a reminder for me of why I loathe flying. It's not that I'm afraid to fly or, any of that sort of stuff. It's just like it's it's just not a comfortable experience.
Mhm.
It's like you're crowding into the space with all these people and you got to go through security, and it's just not a fun experience. It used to be fun and now it's not. It's exhausting. And yes,
Yeah.
cookies. I love big band music. I saw you ask this question. That's what I've been
Yeah.
listening to. Yeah,
I think
exactly.
airports are going to get a little hairier with the government shutdown and TSA agents and air traffic control towers feeling the crunch too. So I'm definitely keeping my eye on that as well.
Yeah.
I just flew the other day. I wasn't sure what I was going to be met with at the airports, and it was interesting. Leaving out of San Francisco, the guy, basically the TSA agent, took like my ID, didn't really even look at it, and was like, "Yeah, go on through." It's like, okay. So, yeah,
I
yeah.
love what your mom writes here. Fly business or first. Then you won't have to worry about reclining the seats. Thanks, Kathy. Can you send me that money so that my next flight will be business class? what a
Oh god.
simple, what a simple solution. Just fly business or first. Exactly, exactly, Kathy. Why didn't I think of that, Kathy?
Oh god, that's hilarious.
Oh
That's
wow, that's
funny.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It does make a huge difference.
Yeah.
But who wants to pay that? I mean, really, it's so expensive
Yep.
to fly business or first class.
Hmm.
But I've had this conversation recently, and this is just my own personal opinion. I would rather save up for one really awesome trip than go on like 5 middle of the road trips. But
Hmm.
that's just me. I'd
Mhm.
rather pool my money and save it for,
My
going.
ideal
Yeah.
travel is I'm going someplace and I'm going to be there for a month at minimum, probably 2 or 3 months. That's how I want to do traveling.
Uh,
Is really just settle into a place. I don't
yeah.
want to rush from here to there and get off the plane, reacclimate, and get out of the jet lag, and then have to get on back on the plane and head back and then reacclimate again. No, that sounds awful to me. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I love your mom. She's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too funny. All right.
Yeah.
We got a couple more on here. This is everything that was going on as of yesterday with the live updates with Hamas freeing live hostages in Israel, releasing prisoners, and Trump visiting the area. So I know there was more headlines today that were coming out, and was everyone released? Were the remains all released? So there's still this like back and forth. I think what we haven't been paying attention to as of late that I still feel energetically is very, very strong in the background is what's happening between Russia, Ukraine, and the other countries that are getting involved in that. So war is still very much, I feel like, in the energetic blueprint of what's happening
Mhm.
right now. But anytime a hostage gets released and a family is there to celebrate and you know could there be a bad side to it? I guess depending on which side you're on, right? But
What
um,
would the bad side be?
well, if somebody thinks that the hostages should not have been released, or
Hmm.
if hostages were being detained, does that give you some kind of leverage or power play? I know that sounds horrible,
Yeah.
um, but I do think there are people out there that do see it as like part of war and warfare. But from the little I've seen with people jubilant about their loved one being released, I do think there's a lot of good news in this. And
Isn't the
hopefully,
whole
yeah.
isn't the whole reason this was happening, and I could be completely wrong because I am not following the news cycle, but except for with you, but isn't the whole reason why like this whole thing with Israel and Hamas is happening was because of these hostages?
Oh, that I don't know.
Because like wasn't it like October 7th of 2023 these people were taken and kidnapped, or am I making that up? So maybe somebody in the chat can
Someone in the
tell
chat
us.
can,
So cuz
yeah.
like my understanding was Hamas went over, and kidnapped and killed these people, and that's why this whole thing blew up with Israel, was because they were holding these people. So,
Ah, okay. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
hoping someone can
This
educate me in the
is
comments.
yeah. Yeah, which was always so confusing to me why, people were yeah, so Jack says yes,
Yeah.
Scott, which was always really confusing to me why people were talking about Israel committing genocide, because I've don't know a single genocide in human history that's occurred where the people who were the victims of the genocide were the ones who were perpetrated, who attacked the other side first.
Hmm.
It's like if I know Armenia didn't attack Turkey, and then Turkey committed against a genocide against Armenia. It's usually there's one perpetrator that's attacking one side, and this is not that. That's what's confusing to me.
Hmm. Hmm.
I understand that Israel, seems to have gone like overboard on the way that they are handling Hamas uh, and Palestine. At the same time, you know, if my people are on the other side, like you're going to do whatever you need to do to get them back. So,
Yeah. Whew. so many layers to it.
Yeah.
And I'm not the most educated on it, unfortunately, to speak more on it, but I appreciate people are sharing in the comments, and hopefully even on the replay, folks will
Yeah.
share. Yeah. Whew.
Yeah.
We do have one good news story.
Yeah.
New new light-based therapy kills 92% of skin cancer cells without harming healthy tissue.
Oh.
So just another article about how much science and technology is growing, and how it will continue to find different cures for
Hmm.
so many things that people are going through. But this was the good news I could find this week. It was kind of a strange week for headlines,
Hmm.
because in recent time there have been a ton to pick from, and when I was looking through them yesterday, it didn't, there were a few of the bigger ones that we shared, but there really wasn't much
Hmm.
to pull from. Um, so it's like, is it some kind of quiet before some big storm? I hope not, but
I think things are going
yeah.
to kind of settle down a little bit with these planets, transiting back into the water signs. And there's going to be a brooding period, you know. So, in an introspective period. And then when all these planets and water signs start moving into the fire, and that it's going to, things are going to start popping off again. So, yeah.
So the popping off, you think, because when I look at it psychically, I just feel like we're in the mix already and we're just waiting for it to start to pop. Um, but I think November, December, January, February, like through the end of April is what I've been getting
Hmm.
psychically. So do you feel like that, like now through the end of April, is that kind of what you're feeling too, or do you extend longer?
Now until the end of April, there's going to be a cooling off period, and then it builds up in April, or now until the end of April, it's going to get intense.
I think it's intense now through the end of April.
So I think that there's going. I think the rest of this month things are gonna maybe kind of calm down a little bit. I think in November, once Mars and Mercury are in Sagittarius, and then the Sun moves into Sagittarius, so that's the end of November. And then there's Mercury retrograde, and then Venus moves into Sagittarius, and then Mercury moves back into Sagittarius. Like by mid December, you've got Mercury, Venus, Mars, and the Sun all in Sagittarius. Uh, and Mars by mid December is going to be squaring Saturn and Neptune in Pisces. So it feels like, I think things are going to kind of calm down a little bit until like mid December. And then mid December is when things are going to really ramp up again, just energetically with that fire. And I feel like January is, going to be kind of like a grinding, like brooding period, because all those planets, Mercury, Venus, the Sun, and Mars, all in Capricorn in January, and then they all kind of move into Aquarius at the same time. So by like January 23rd, it's Mars, Pluto, the Sun, Mercury, Venus, 5 planets in Aquarius. Like, what's happening there? That's that feels intense.
Mm.
So I feel like we're gonna kind of hit a lull for like the next couple of weeks. Maybe in November there's some sparks. By mid December, the fire starts raging, kind of quells down during the holidays and the early part of the year, and we're kind of like figuring out like, okay, what's happening here, and we're being reshaped. And then by the end of January, there's kind of like this explosion, and everyone's revolting and rioting in the streets. I don't know. Who knows?
No big deal.
But yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
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 Well,
Mm. Yeah.
on that note,
Yes.
yeah. So for those of you that missed it earlier in the episode, I did the magic word already. So let me go ahead and drop the link where you can. Actually, you can just go to spiritandspark.com and click on magic word, or the magic word link just got dropped in the comments. So if you know this week's magic word, make sure you go on that page and enter it for your chance to win a 12-month personalized tarot report. Also coming up, I am going to be channeling next week. Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, John Benet Ramsey, Amy Bradley. She's a woman that went missing on a cruise ship years ago, and it's recently been in the media a lot because Netflix did a docu-series on her, and people are wondering, is she alive or did she pass? And so I'm going to be taking a look at that. And as long as you sign up on or by October 22nd, you get to name your own price. You get access to the live Zoom and the replay. It's just really fun leading up to Halloween. So I'm looking forward to having everybody over there. Scott, we know you've got your podcast, The Weekly Transit, that everybody can go check out. And hopefully they've already subscribed to your YouTube channel or wherever they listen to podcasts.
Mhm.
And you have your new website, and you're
Yep.
also offering astrology sessions for anybody that wants to take a look at their own chart, their own life. What did I miss?
I mean, I think you covered everything. Yeah, if you're interested in learning about your astrological code or how the transits are affecting you, if you're looking for a guide to support you through your life, that's my Cosmic Pathway program. Schedule a reading first. Ask me about that, and I can share what that's about. But I'm here to support you and guide you through the chaos, whatever is happening in your life, using the knowledge of the planets and stars and my compassionate, empathetic way of being. I'm grateful to be here to support you. So thank you.
Yay. Okay. Well, let us know in the comments what you think about those reclining chairs on the airplane. We want you to weigh in. And for more information, go to spiritandspark.com or theweeklytransit.com. And we'll see everybody next time. Bye.